Have you ever noticed that sometimes Hollywood feels like one big hidden family tree? Some actors become worldwide stars, but almost no one realizes they have a brother, or even a sister, just as talented. Today, you're going to meet 27 Hollywood siblings you probably didn't know were part of the same family in real life. Families of comedians, actors from the 70s and 80s, stars from 90s TV, and even modern dynasties that continue to run Hollywood today. Stay with me until the end, because the final names on this list belong to the most powerful families, the ones almost everyone knows, but rarely connects as real relatives. Number 27. The Culkin brothers, Macaulay, Kieran, and Rory. When you hear the name Culkin, everyone thinks of the blonde kid from Home Alone screaming with his hands on his face. But what many people forget is that Macaulay wasn't an only child. He grew up in a big New York family with 7 kids, and 2 of his brothers, Kieran and Rory, also became actors. Kieran appeared as a child in Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, but audiences rediscovered him decades later as the sharp and brilliant Roman Roy in Succession. Rory took a quieter path, acting in independent films and in movies like Signs, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. For those who only remember Macaulay from the 90s, it's always a surprise to learn that 3 brothers from the same home followed the same artistic dream. A perfect example of a family where talent runs deep. Number 26. The Wayans family, Keenan Ivory, Damon, Sean, Marlon, and Kim. If you watched TV or movies in the 80s or 90s, you definitely ran into a Wayans. Most people think it's just one comedian, but no, it's a whole family. Several siblings, all artists who built a true comedy empire in Hollywood. Keenan Ivory was the genius behind In Living Color, the show that even launched Jim Carrey's career. Damon became a studio comedy favorite. Sean and Marlon exploded with White Chicks and Scary Movie. And Kim also made her mark on television. The best part? They worked together, wrote for each other, produced each other, and always lifted each other up. That kind of family teamwork in Hollywood is rare. You thought there was just one, right? Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen. Now let's go back to classic 80s television. Felicia Rashad became unforgettable as the elegant and strong-minded mother on The Cosby Show, one of the most watched series in American TV history. At the same time, her sister Debbie Allen was shining as a dancer, choreographer, and actress, especially known for fame. Outside the United States, few people instantly link the two, but they are real sisters, both overflowing with talent. They opened doors for generations of black women in television and theater. And even today, when they appear together at award shows, the audience still reacts with surprise. Wait, they're sisters. Number 24. Jamie Lee Curtis and Kelly Curtis. Everyone knows Jamie Lee Curtis, especially horror fans. She became an icon in the late 70s with Halloween, later conquered comedy with A Fish Called Wanda, and came back strong in the 2000s and 2020s, even winning an Oscar. But not everyone remembers that she has a sister, actress Kelly Curtis. Both are daughters of Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, 2 legendary names from Hollywood's golden age. Kelly didn't land as many big roles as Jamie, but she worked steadily in film and television. Sometimes talent runs in the family, but fame doesn't shine the same for everyone. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit the like button and subscribe to Top Celebrities. Thanks a lot. Number 23. Emilio, Charlie, and Ramon Estevez, better known as the Sheen family. This family could be straight out of a TV drama. The father, Martin Sheen, has been a powerhouse actor since the 70s. 2 of his sons followed his path and became household names, Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen. Emilio was part of the famous Brat Pack of the 80s, starring in The Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire. Charlie took on war films and Wall Street dramas, then dominated television with 2.5 Men. And there's also Ramon, who acts and directs more quietly behind the scenes. They came from the same home, the same creative roots, yet took very different routes to fame. You probably knew one of them, but didn't know there were more. Tatum O'Neal and Griffin O'Neal. Children of actor Ryan O'Neal, both grew up in Los Angeles under the bright lights of Hollywood. Tatum became the youngest person ever to win an Oscar, just 10 years old, for Paper Moon. Her brother Griffin followed her footsteps, building a quieter acting career. Between the flashes of cameras and the struggles of a turbulent childhood, these two built separate journeys. When we look back at those old photos, we don't just see stars on the red carpet. We see siblings bound by art, by blood, and by stories few truly know. Do you remember them? Number 21. Dakota and Ellie Fanning. Two actresses the world literally watched grow up. They were raised in Hollywood and both started young. Dakota began with emotional dramas like I Am Sam and War of the Worlds. Ella followed soon after with fantasy films and creative independent projects. They built parallel careers with no rivalry. And even today, many people don't realize they're sisters. Their styles are different. And the younger one, Elle, became strongly associated with Disney. Zoe and Emily Deschanel. If you lived through the 2000s, you surely remember these two. Zoe became the indie film darling with 500 Days of Summer, and then conquered television with New Girl. Emily starred for years in Bones, one of Fox's longest-running shows. Though they work in completely different genres, they're sisters, daughters of film director Caleb Deschanel, another family that seems to live and breathe Hollywood. Number 19. Tia and Tamara Mowry. For anyone who loves 90s TV, these two are unforgettable. Tia and Tamara became famous as the twins from Sister Sister and later continued in television and entertainment. The best part? They kept their image clean and positive. Two sisters, always united, no drama, no public fights. It's so nice to remember that era. Which one did you like more? Tell us in the comments. Donnie and Marie Osmond. Now let's go even further back. In the 70s, they were the perfect pair of American television. Talented, charismatic, and yes, brother and sister. Donnie and Marie sang, hosted, and became a national brand. They represented the wholesome side of American entertainment. He was a little rock and roll. She was a little country. Every Friday on ABC, they made the audience sing, "May Tomorrow Be a Perfect Day." They were still teenagers, just 18 and 16, and already had their own primetime show, something almost unheard of at the time. Years later, they reunited in Las Vegas and performed together for 11 years at the Flamingo, finishing in 2019 to tears and applause. Two siblings who grew up on stage and never really left it. Number 17. Fred, Ben, and Kayla Savage. This one is for those who love family sitcoms. Fred Savage was the beloved kid from The Wonder Years, one of the most loved shows of the 80s and 90s. Ben Savage became a teen star in Boy Meets World, and their sister Kala also acted, though more discreetly. Three siblings who literally grew up on American television. And yet, most people never realize they all come from the same family. Kiefer and Rachel Sutherland. Most people know Kiefer Sutherland as the tough, unstoppable Jack Bauer from 24. But what many don't realize is that he has a twin sister, Rachel Sutherland, who's also part of the Hollywood world, just behind the camera. While Kiefer became an international star, Rachel built her own career in film and TV production, working quietly behind the scenes. Born to actors Donald Sutherland and Shirley Douglas, the twins grew up surrounded by lights, scripts, and sound stages. Kiefer often calls Rachel his lifelong companion and closest friend. Proof that in this family, talent and loyalty truly run side by side. Number 15. Chris, Liam, and Luke Hemsworth. 3 brothers from Australia, born in Melbourne and raised among the wild beauty of Phillip Island, who went on to become true Hollywood stars. Luke was the first to step on a film set, Chris became the god of thunder with Thor, and Liam found his own spotlight in the Hunger Games. Their bond of brotherhood is strong and full of admiration. Liam once said that Chris is his hero, and Luke often calls them the best brothers that ever existed. 3 brothers, 3 different paths, one incredible family that continues to inspire fans around the world. Mark and Donnie Wahlberg. Here's another story of you knew one, but probably didn't know the other. Donnie was one of the faces of the legendary teen group New Kids on the Block, a global sensation in the late 1980s. Mark also started in music, performing as Marky Mark, before becoming a Hollywood action and comedy star. Today, both brothers are successful businessmen and producers, proving that a family built in the world of show business can last a lifetime. Ron and Clint Howard. Ever since Little Ron appeared as Opie on The Andy Griffith Show, his path in entertainment was already set. But he wasn't alone. His younger brother Clint also started acting as a child and went on to appear in more than 200 productions, many of them directed by Ron himself. When we look at their old photos today, we feel something special, the magic of 2 brothers who grew up together in Hollywood. One became a storyteller behind the camera, the other a familiar face in front of it. 2 brothers forever connected by the art they love. Number 12. Beau and Jeff Bridges. From their earliest years, brothers Beau and Jeff Bridges were immersed in the world of film. Sons of the legendary Lloyd Bridges, they grew up in Hollywood knowing that acting wasn't just a job. It was inheritance. It was destiny. One of their most unforgettable moments came in the movie The Fabulous Baker Boys, released in 1989, where they shared the screen and brought to life the kind of chemistry only real brothers can have. The kind that's built over a lifetime. Mary-Kate, Ashley, and Elizabeth Olsen. The Olsen twins are true TV icons of the 90s. But what many people didn't know is that they have a younger sister, Elizabeth, who became an even bigger movie star thanks to the Marvel Universe. From the hallways of Full House to the red carpets of Marvel premieres, Mary-Kate and Ashley began as baby stars, sharing the role of Michelle Tanner. And somehow, they still found the strength to reinvent themselves as global fashion icons. Then came Elizabeth, the youngest, who chose a slower path, taking her time to breathe, grow, and build her own identity. 3 sisters who went from children's television to high fashion, and then straight to the heart of blockbuster cinema. Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Born into a family of filmmakers, Jake and Maggie grew up surrounded by cameras and movie sets. Jake became a leading man in Hollywood. Maggie earned an Oscar nomination and built a powerful reputation in drama. They never really promote themselves as siblings, which is why many people never make the connection. Did you know they were brother and sister? Number 9. Ben and Casey Affleck. 2 brothers, 2 Oscars. Raised in Cambridge, Massachusetts, 2 souls, 2 dreams, 1 family name that would soon become a Hollywood legacy. Ben Affleck won his first Oscar at the age of 25 for Good Will Hunting. He took home another years later for Argo. Casey Affleck earned the Academy Award for Best Actor for Manchester by the Sea, adding his own name to that same family legacy. Brothers by blood, rivals in talent, companions on the same stage. Ben and Casey proved that a family legacy can be written both under the studio lights and in the quiet of the backstage. Michelle Pfeiffer and Dee Dee Pfeiffer. In the 1980s, While Michelle Pfeiffer was dazzling the world with Scarface and the Fabulous Baker Boys, her younger sister Dee Dee was carving out her own path, debuting alongside her in Into the Night in 1985. Dee Dee faced personal challenges away from the spotlight. She stepped back for a while, studied social work, and focused on recovery. Then, in 2020, she returned stronger than ever, starring in the TV series Big Sky. Two real sisters, parallel talents. Two voices that whisper the story of a more intimate, almost forgotten side of Hollywood. Number 7. Patricia, David, and Rosanna Arquette, a family that has spanned more than 3 decades of film and television. Patricia won an Oscar for Boyhood. David became a fan favorite in the horror world with Scream, and Rosanna defined the 1980s with her unforgettable performances. 3 siblings, 3 unique careers, 1 remarkable Hollywood family. Warren Beatty and Shirley MacLaine. Picture 2 stars rising almost side by side during the golden age of Hollywood. Shirley MacLaine, born in 1934, became an Oscar-winning actress for Terms of Endearment, and an icon of style and spirituality. Her younger brother, Warren Beatty, born in 1937, directed, produced, and starred in the film Reds, winning the Oscar for Best Director. Although they never shared the screen, both built careers of absolute prestige. 2 different voices, bound by the same blood and the same timeless Hollywood magic. Number 5. Dennis and Randy Quaid. From Houston straight to Hollywood, Dennis and Randy Quaid were born into a family with cinema in their veins. Randy made his debut in the cult classic The Last Picture Show, while Dennis rose to fame in the 1980s with The Right Stuff. Randy became a memorable face in cult comedies like National Lampoon's Vacation, and in sci-fi hits like Independence Day. Dennis became a leading man in countless classics and carried the family legacy forward. During the 70s and 80s, they were simply everywhere. John and Joan Cusack. Remember those unforgettable movies from the 80s and 90s? John and Joan Cusack grew up in Chicago. Raised by an actor father and an activist mother, they appeared together in 10 films, from Class, released in 1983, to High Fidelity in 2000. Joan received Oscar nominations for Working Girl and In and Out. John became the face of youthful rebellion in Say Anything. 2 stars from the same constellation, the Cusack family, where talent, humor, and heart collide in cinematic history. Number 3. Julia and Eric Roberts. Here's a rare reverse case. The brother became famous first, but the sister became a legend. Eric Roberts was already an Oscar-nominated actor in the 1980s. Then came Julia Roberts, who took the world by storm with Pretty Woman. Even today, many people forget, or simply never realize, that they are siblings. Jane and Peter Fonda. Imagine growing up under the legendary name of Henry Fonda, yet each one taking a completely different path through the Hollywood of the 60s and 70s. Jane Fonda became an icon of acting and activism, winning 2 Academy Awards. Her younger brother, Peter Fonda, became a counterculture symbol with the classic Easy Rider. 2 shared names, 2 distinct journeys, and both proving that talent can truly run in the family. The Baldwin brothers, Alec, Daniel, William, and Stephen, and at the very top of this list, the family that everyone knows. But not everyone remembers there are 4 of them. Alec is the most famous, of course, but Billy, Stephen, and Daniel also built strong careers in television and film through the 80s and 90s. They've been such a constant presence in Hollywood that the phrase the Baldwin brothers has practically become a synonym for acting dynasty. So, which of these siblings surprised you the most? Did you already know Julia Roberts had an actor brother? Or were you more impressed by the big Hollywood families of the 80s, like the Bridges, the Quaids, or the Arquettes? Tell us down in the comments. And don't miss the next video. Just click the card right here. You're gonna love it. Oh, and don't forget to drink plenty of water, okay? For more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe here on Top Celebrities and turn on the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.